Today's word of the day is flexible. I love when devices can be utilized in many different ways in the enterprise. And today we're going to talk about one such device, the Meraki MX, the security appliance. Let's take a look at the MX and find out some of the ways that you can use the MX in your organization. I'm sorry, Thousand Eyes, but this Meraki shirt is my favorite shirt. I cloud manage. I do. And I love when enterprises can go to a single dashboard and manage their devices from a single dashboard. They can set up security controls. They can set up SASE. They can put together wireless networks and deploy them so much from a single dashboard. And I love that about Meraki. So yes, this is my favorite shirt. I cloud manage here at home. All my devices are Meraki and I can manage them through the Meraki dashboard. There are so many use cases for what we're going to talk about today, which is the Meraki MX. If you want to drop an MX in a warehouse with 3 people and you want to connect a printer and a PoE phone to it and a person, you can do that and set up a VPN tunnel to a head end. You can set up SD-WAN if you want. You can use an MX as a VPN concentrator where you can drop connections from different people's homes if they have perhaps a Z appliance, a Z4 that's out there. You can do those things with an MX. You can set up an MX as your edge device with security controls right there, separating different networks out. There is so much you can do. I'm going to jump into the dashboard. There's a network that I have to create for my home. So I'm going to give you a tour of what we can do with a Meraki MX. As I always say, take a look at the documentation. Make sure you select the right security appliance for the right use case. There are different sized appliances out there depending on the throughput need. Also, some of these appliances have wireless integrated into them, so you can create the SSIDs right there on the appliance. I myself am using the MX68, which is a small branch appliance for up to 50 users. Now, I have 2 kids. That pretty much equals 50 users. But what you can see here is that there are larger appliances that can serve as head ends in a data center for SD-WAN, VPN concentrators. It all depends on the throughput needs that you have. We even have virtual appliances out there that you can drop into the cloud, into your cloud service providers to extend SD-WAN into your cloud service providers. Now, let's jump into it with the time that we have. The goal today is to give you a quick tour of the MX that I currently have. I have to create a network out there for an IoT subnet that I want to have. I want to separate my IoT devices from my guest devices. We're going to do that, and we're going to take a look at some of the security controls that are on the MX. As you can see here on the MX68, I have the ability to connect 2 internet connections. Currently, my MG52, which serves as my second connection, my cellular gateway, that is unplugged. I have a couple of other ports here, and I also have ports that provide power for access points for phones. So just keep that in mind. If you have a certain use case, you can connect a phone, an access point to an MX and send that out as a package itself, right? Now, there are some tools that you can take advantage of right from the dashboard. Outside of the pings and taking a look at the ARP table, we now have firewall logs integrated here into the dashboard. So if you're interested in taking a look at what a particular client is doing, or if there's issues that you're troubleshooting, you can put that MAC address in there or the device name, and you can click start. And we'll take a look at what is happening with that particular device. So in this instance, this is my phone. I'm going to browse around. As you can see there, there's already DNS and there's already 443 that's popping up. So that's newer. I believe it's 18.2, the version that this started in. Now you can download that information and you can continue your troubleshooting off the dashboard there. We'll click stop. You can also navigate to the particular client. It'll take you to the client, whether it's wired or wireless, and you can see what's going on with that particular connectivity, if there's something else that might be going on with that client. But that's just there to show you what's going on connectivity-wise. Now, what we want to do is we want to pivot over to the left side, and we'll go to addressing and VLANs, and I want to create that subnet for the IoT devices. My MX is in routed mode. I'm not using it as a VPN concentrator. We'll scroll down and we'll see the existing VLANs that are currently out there. I want to add a new VLAN. This one will be IoT. We'll say that's VLAN 6. I don't want to apply a group policy for that now, and I'll leave the VPN mode disabled for now. We'll click Next. I will give the interface an IP 192.168.136.1 and the subnet 192.168.136.0/24 because I have such a huge site here. Everything else stays the same, and we'll click Preview here. That is my IoT VLAN that I'm adding into the MX. We'll click Update. Now, it's not finalized. What I want to do is on the right side, I want to save those changes. So I'll click Save Changes. I'll get a warning about an overlap of my lab IPs saying that traffic will be routed to the smallest subnet. That's fine. We'll click Yes. So I have created my IoT VLAN. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that DHCP is set up. So we'll click on DHCP. That'll take me to all the scopes that are on the MX. Now what we'll do is I'll scroll down to VLAN 6. And I want to reserve a range here. We'll say 192.168.136.1 through 192.168.136.10. That'll be my reserved range. And then I'll save that change. So once devices come online into that VLAN or are plugged in, at that point they'll pick up IPs above 11. So that's really basic connectivity. Now, I don't have much firewall rules in place here, but what I want to do is go ahead to the site-to-site VPN. Now, my home is connected to SASE, to Secure Connect. I'm sending some traffic out to Secure Connect, so my guest traffic is going out to Secure Connect for inspection, for the cloud firewall, everything that's happening in the cloud, and we'll dive into that in a future video. What I want to do here is I want to make sure that the traffic from my new IoT VLAN is sent outbound into Secure Connect. So if I scroll down here, I see my IoT VLAN, the VPN mode is disabled. I will enable that. And I also want to send my lab routes up to Secure Connect as well. So I'll enable that and I will save that change. Again, this is where the VPN magic happens. If you have other MXs out there, the VPN is really a couple of clicks. You are establishing an auto VPN between the MXs. You also have the ability to set up a third-party VPN, perhaps with a third-party SSE provider, a third-party device. That is doable on the MX as well. This is where it happens. As you can see here, my MX is a spoke, and Secure Connect, I am in 2 data centers. I'm connected there to 2 hubs. Let's take a quick look at security controls. So if we go down to threat protection, this is where I can configure AMP. And most of these are on already. So as you can see there, I have AMP enabled, taking a look at what's happening file-wise. Intrusion detection and prevention, I have prevention that is enabled. With the balanced rule set, of course, if you want a little bit more connectivity and less IPS, you can do that. Or if you really want to restrict things or inspect, then you can go to the security side. I have it balanced, which is usually a safe approach. Now, one of the newer things here is trusted traffic exclusions. There is traffic that I don't care about, that I know it's fine. All the streaming that the kids do. I don't want the MX to bother inspecting that and to take up resources inspecting that. So that's fine. This is where that happens. As you can see, I also have collaboration for WebEx, for Microsoft Teams. I don't want to inspect that traffic. I want to bypass it from content filtering, IPS. This is where it happens. And this is where you can add additional subnets. And if you want to enable umbrella protection across the board, DNS security, you can do that here. I have DNS security by SSID, and we'll see that in a future video. Now, if we take a look here, let's switch over to the content filtering. This is where I can block different categories. You can see there, I already have a ton of categories that are blocked. This is where I can put in URL filtering. For example, if you're in education and you want to block everything and just allow a couple of sites, you can do that. This is where that happens. That's the job of the MX. Route traffic, bring security controls in, bring SD-WAN into a single place, VPN as well. If you want a VPN inbound into the MX, you can do that with AnyConnect. There is so much that you can do with the MX. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We haven't explored everything else we can do. We will do that in future videos as we explore the rest of the Meraki dashboard. But the goal today really was to give you a quick tour and to show you the power and the flexibility of the MX. Thank you. I'll see you on the next one.